here today on WOW Animal Instinct. Goldie Collins and Katarina Jinx getting another, David, opportunity at the WOW World Tag Team Championships. The Mother Truckers, the WOW World Tag Team Champions, will be out here momentarily, but this team of Goldie Collins and Katarina Jinx, they seem to have really bonded.
Well, this is a rematch for the WOW Championship. And there's the whip that sounds from Katarina Jinx. Katarina Jinx and Goldie Collins gave it to the champions before. They wanted a rematch, and the champ said, we'll do it again. And this is the rematch for the WOW Tag Team Championship.
And David, speaking of tag team action, our big main event, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes.
And their opponents from the truck stop capital of the world, Jackson, Tennessee, they are your WOW World Tag Team Champions, Big Rig Betty and Holly Swag, the Mother Truckers!
Oh yeah, those belts have never looked better. Look at that, around Big Rig Betty's waist and Holly Swag, her daughter. Here they come into the WOW Arena to the electricity of the fans.
The WOW fans have come unglued at the sight of the WOW World Tag Team Champions, Holly Swag, Big Rig Betty, better known as the Mother Truckers, David.
They are something else indeed.
There you see them.
Katarina and Goldie. They couldn't pose long with those championship belts. They were supposed to be handed to Eddie Furt, but the action just ensues too quickly. Eddie now moving the belts to the side. Goldie's in there with Big Rig Betty, and Katarina Jinx is on the outside with Holly Swag.
Goldie Collins gets a forearm from Big Rig Betty. And of course, as we mentioned, this is a rematch, and Goldie Collins and Katarina Jinx kicking things off a little bit different this time around, trying to get the early advantage now as Katarina Jinx from behind stomping away on Big Rig Betty.
And Eddie Furt takes control of the match, moving Katarina Jinx to the corner as Goldie Collins lifts up Big Rig Betty, throwing her into that turnbuckle. Big Rig Betty goes down. Collins was going to come in with a clothesline, but instead reverses and gives a few boots in the midsection. Now she takes Big Rig Betty from pillar to post, and she's in the wrong corner indeed, Nigel. As Goldie Collins and Katarina Jinx hammer, and now toss her to the other side of the ring. The two of them, the two animal lovers indeed, are pounding away for the WOW Championship.
Animal Instinct, Katarina Jinx choking Big Rig Betty, hoping to walk away with the WOW World Tag Team Championship with her partner Goldie Collins standing on the outside of the ring now as Katarina Jinx takes Big Rig Betty to the neutral corner and hammers away on Big Rig Betty, the WOW World Tag Team Champion, one half with her daughter, Holly Swag. Big Rig Betty now with the Bulldog attempt, but Katarina Jinx able to push off Big Rig Betty, and the cat scratch right on the back of Big Rig Betty. And David, we've seen this before. That's the mousetrap by Katarina Jinx. Katarina Jinx hooking the leg. Eddie Furt says too. This WOW World Tag Team Championship match continues, David.
You call that the mousetrap? It snaps that neck just like a little mouse would be in a trap.
That's what she told me to call it, David. She being Katarina Jinx, and I didn't want to argue with her. I've only got one life. She's got 9.
She might put you in the mousetrap.
Someplace I definitely don't want to be is Goldie Collins from the Collins Kennel Club. Top dog, the gold standard, best in show, buries the knee right into the midsection of Big Rig Betty, who has now been isolated. And David, the jump start from Animal Instinct has really made all the difference in this rematch for the WOW World Tag Team Championships.
No doubt about it, and the fans are getting behind them now.
And Goldie Collins, Big Rig Betty going for the Jake break. Goldie Collins able to push Big Rig Betty off and connects with a sidewalk slam. Good enough for a 2 count, but Goldie Collins staying on top of Big Rig Betty with the choke. Collins not at all pleased.
Well, if her dog Alexander is watching the matches right now at home with his biscuits, I gotta tell you, he's enjoying what he's seeing. He might be giving it a rough from home.
I'm sure she has Alexander set up on the finest dog bed with a flat screen TV to proudly watch his mom. Don't you know, with the trophies in the background, David? I could only imagine.
I'd like to be Alexander tonight. Little treats at home, laying in my nice bed, watching big screen, watching my mama put it to Big Rig Betty and her friend Katarina Jinx.
Double team maneuver.
Also.
They call that, David, the call of the Wild. And that almost won them the Wild World Tag Team Championship. If it wasn't for Holly Swag, that could have been the end of this match.
Holly Swag, the daughter of Big Rig Betty, now coming into the action. In there against Goldie Collins, and she quickly went over to take out Katarina Jinx, and now she's putting it to Goldie Collins. Holly Swag, the daughter of Big Rig Betty, knows how to deliver. She's fast and she's furious and she's quick to her feet. And there you see all the action and the style of Holly Swag. She's had a tough life growing up, but she's put all that toughness behind her and become a tough competitor in the Wild ring.
Take a look at Goldie Collins with Holly Swag up on her shoulders, but Holly Swag tags into Big Rig Betty unbeknownst to Goldie Collins. And she sends Swag for a ride. She calls that the Blue Ribbon Buster. But
Big Rig Betty, she didn't want to run in quickly, though. You notice how she hesitated because she knew Goldie Collins was trying to set her up for an airplane spin. But the veteran avoided it, and now she possibly got a pin.
the Jake break.
Yes,
And that's it.
count.
That's a 3 count. And those are your Wild World Tag Team Champions, the Mother Truckers.
Here are your winners, and still the Wild World Tag Team Champions, Big Rig Betty and Holly Swag, the Mother Truckers.
Goldie Collins had Holly Swag up on her shoulders. She was taking her around and around, and if Big Rig Betty had run in too fast, she might have been clipped with the feet of her daughter. But the